Hi there, this is Noah with the Marketing and Training Department. This is going to be a brief video tutorial on links and basic HTML and CSS formatting in the ERS system. Now before we really dive in, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe to the ERS YouTube channel so you never miss out on any of these updates. And you can do that by clicking on the link in the corner up here, or there should be a link in the corner down there as well. So before we really dive deep, I want to encourage you to use the resources that are here in the system, the help resources. So in the knowledge base, we've got an article, and you can do a search for CSS or HTML or links. Any of those keywords will bring up this article, and you can see it's sort of a cheat sheet. It's got some basic formatting and stuff like that. And this is actually, we're going to cover all of this during the video. But again, that's a useful resource there so you don't have to watch this video every single time. And then also in the ERS users group on Facebook, and this is the URL for that group. If you're not a member, I can't encourage you strongly enough to join that. There's, as you can see here, about 1,800 people in this group, and it's just a super useful resource for knowing how to use the system or just, talking shop with our colleagues in the field. So anyway, if you're not a member of that group, I encourage you to join. Look at that handsome guy right there. Who's that, huh? Anyway, there's this area right here. If you go down to more, there's this files area here. So if you click into that, whenever it decides to load the page, then there is this right here, this little PDF document. So if you click on that, it'll take you to the post that I made where I uploaded that document. And then you can click on the link in the post, and it will download that PDF. So that can be a helpful little guide that you can store on your computer for future reference on this stuff. It's actually the same, this right here is actually the same document as what's in this article right here. So anyway, there's that. Let's go ahead and dive in. So I'm logged into the back end of one of my practice folders, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Admin Website Responsive Setup, because the responsive editor is the main area where we deal with HTML and CSS. But I mean, there are other areas in the system as well, but this is the main one. So I'm going to edit the home page. These principles apply to any page in our system, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the home page this time. Now, as I'm sure you have noticed by now, the ERS system has a bunch of different places where you can put links, and you can basically put a link anywhere. But of course, there are some areas that are intended for a link, right? A button obviously is intended for a link. So if we're in the responsive editor and we see an area that is supposed to have a link, typically there's going to be some kind of interface like this. So we click on that, and we can see the display text is here. So I'm going to edit that real quick. And then here's the link itself. Now this is what we call a relative link. In other words, it is a link that is going to be, when the person clicks on it, it's going to take them to a page that's on the same website. So we don't need the .com, all that other stuff. We need basically everything that comes after the .com or the .org or whatever our website, URL is. Whatever comes after that is all we need to put in when it's a relative link. So here we can see that it's the order by date page. And so I'm going to click here to update this, and it has updated my display text. And when we hover over that button, we can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen what page that link is going to direct us to, and it looks correct. We can see the system is auto-filling that, the first part of the website into that link. So if we wanted this to be an external link, in other words, a link to a page on a different website, then we would have to put in the entire URL. So let's go ahead and find a URL for a different website. And we're going to go ahead and copy that URL. I did a Command-C because I'm on a Mac. If you're on a PC, your keyboard shortcut for copy is Control-C. So I'm going to go ahead and click back into the responsive editor. I'm going to click here to edit this link. And I am going to paste that URL in here. Again, an absolute link, meaning a link to a page on a different website, has to have the full URL. So I'm going to go ahead and update. And then when I hover over here, we can see that the URL for that link has changed. So I'm going to go ahead and click here to save my changes. And then I am going to click here to open up a copy of the live website to test all of this. Remember, testing is your friend. All right, so my display text is correct, and when I click here, it looks like the link worked as well. Okay, great. Now, we can put links elsewhere. We can even put links right here in this area where it's just text. We can actually use HTML to put a link in there too. So let's click back into the website editor. And let's go ahead and link this text right here, this Mickey Mouse text. Let's link that to our Disney Castle page. So I'm going to go ahead and put the HTML for a link in here. And again, this formatting is available to you here in this knowledge base article. So this is going to be a relative link. It's going to be a page on the same website. And I do not want it to open in a new browser tab. The same browser tab is fine. So we're going to follow this formatting right here. So my display text is here. And then this is my link format. And then here's my close tag. So I am going to go less than a space href equals quotation / items / Disney _ castle _ small. Then I'm going to close my quotes and close the tag with that greater than symbol. Then I am going to close the a tag with a less than, a slash, an a, and a greater than. Now don't worry if that all sounded like gibberish to you. You're not expected to be master web designers who know everything about HTML and CSS. That's why we have this information right here. So okay, I'm going to click here to update. I'm going to hover over that link, and it looks like everything is formatted correctly. Let's go ahead and save our changes. Go back into the live website, do a refresh, and test out that link. Sweet. This is working correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and say we would like to change the color and the size of all this text. Let's say we want to turn this text red and make the size a little bigger. So let's go ahead and click here, and let's follow the formatting that we see here under styling. All right, so I'm going to, once again, I'm going to follow the formatting here. So we're going to go span style equals quotation color. Going to do a quick search in my knowledge base for the hex code for red. Going to do a search for hex. And red is FF0000. Okay. And sweet, it looks like the main article that I was mostly using is still at the top. So I can actually just do that, and I don't have to go anywhere. All right, so color hashtag FF0000. And we're going to say font dash size. Let's go with 16 point. And we're going to put another semicolon, close that quote, put our greater than symbol, and then we're going to put our close span symbol at the very end so that this formatting applies to all of this text. We're going to update, and voila. All right, let's go ahead and save our changes. And once again, refresh the page here so we can double check that it's taking on the live website. Yep. All right, last but not least, let's look at some simple inline stuff that we can do to do things like, for example, make some text italicized. So if we click on this text, let's say we want chairs and tables to be italicized. That's real simple. We literally can just say less than I, greater than, less than slash I to close that tag, greater than, and update. And we've got italicized text there. And once again, you can find that in here under italicized text. Let's go ahead and highlight that text as well, just for giggles. Yep, there it is. It's highlighted. So once again, save our changes. Refresh on the live screen to double check. And it's looking good. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you can use HTML and CSS in most parts of the system. So for example, I've actually got HTML and CSS on my checkout screen. So if we go into Order Config, Order Options, and we click into Park, we can see that with my park question that shows up on the checkout screen, I've actually got links in here. And if we actually make a quick order, we can see that. Whoops, I forgot to change that link back to the order by date link. Let's go ahead and go with this one. So here on this checkout screen, we can see that our HTML is working. So that's all there is to it. Hope this was helpful. As always, the tech support department is happy to answer any questions that you have about this or anything else in the system. So you can feel free to reach them at 505-435-9731, extension 102, or support@eventrentalsystems.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.